Thanks for honoring another rendezvous of Prime Flash on My Media Prime Television with me, Audrey Zatsa. The black boxes of the plane which crashed in Bibé have been found intact. The Minister of Transport, Jean-Ernest Masséna Ngale Bibeyi, led a delegation to the scene of the tragedy on Thursday evening. The aircraft from Yaoundé crashed in a small village called Eboula in Bibé-Sanaga Maritime Division Center region, causing the death of 11 employees of the company Kotko on board. The remains of the victims were recovered by the firefighting brigade in the early hours of the morning and then taken to the Nanga Eboko morgue. The Minister of Transport praised the mobilization of the public or the police and local residents who served as guides in this deep forest. Jean-Ernest Masséna Ngale Bibeyi equally announced the opening of an investigation. The First Lady of Cameroon, Mrs. Chantal Biya, and the staff of the Gynecological Endoscopic Surgery and Human Reproductive Teaching Hospital have celebrated God's gift of life with the families of 300 babies delivered through assisted reproductive technology. This was during a Thanksgiving pontifical mass presided by the Grace Jean Mbaga at the Yaoundé Bay Center on 12 May 2022. The Metropolitan Archbishop of Yaoundé blessed President Paul Biya and his spouse, First Lady Chantal Biya. He commended their firm commitment aimed at putting a smile on the faces of many who now enjoy God's grace of parenthood. The Mass was marked by the baptism of 3 kids born at the center and words of prayer and encouragement from a pastor and an imam. Trade Minister Luc Magloire-Barga has said no to a decision to readjust the price of beer from June 1. In a press release in response to the National Syndicate of Beverages and Bars of Cameroon, which wants to readjust the price of drinks from June 1, the Minister of Commerce indicated that the price of the said product remains unchanged until further notice. For a member of the government, beer, like mineral waters and hygienic drinks, is part of the products whose prices and tariffs are subject to the prior approval procedure and not to that of the prior submission of scales as stipulated by the decree of April 14, 2022. In his statement, the Minister of Commerce concludes that the price of beer remains unchanged in Cameroon. However, Luc Magloire-Barga took note of the dual concerns expressed by the National Syndicate of Beverages and Bars of Cameroon, namely the scarcity of beer products from distributors and the increase in prices. In talking about beer, the divisional officer of Bankomo, Nama Kosma Thierry, has banned the sales of drinks in morning places. The information is contained in a communique signed on May 11 and addressed to traditional authorities of his unit of command. The civil administrator regrets the fact that this activity, which he describes as shameful, continues in the villages of his area of competence. The governor of the Northwest region, Adolphe Lele Lafrique, has donated 80 motorbikes donated to various vigilante groups in the region by the President of the Republic, Paul Biya. The keys were handed to SDOs of the different divisions of the region. Details with Charles Kebwa.
The Northwest Administrative Coordination Meeting, CCA, and the Regional Coordination Meeting for the Maintenance of Law and Order, CCO, took place at the Conference Hall of the Northwest Regional Delegation of Secondary Education, May 11, 2022, chaired by Northwest Governor Adolphe Lele Lafrique, bringing the 7 SDOs of the region and other administrative authorities. The meeting was aimed to streamline measures to ensure the administrative authorities are well equipped to face the various situation witnessed in the region and take necessary measures to ensure a hitch-free celebration of Cameroon's 50th anniversary, the National Day 20th May 2022, all over the Northwest region. During the CCA/CCO meeting, in-camera working session had 4 exposés from the Divisional Delegate of Public Health, Trade, Economic Planning and Regional Development, the Inspector General of Regional Service, and the Secretary General at the Northwest Governor's Office. Northwest Governor Adolphe Lele Lafrique assured measures had been taken to step up security to ensure no incident is recorded as the region celebrates the National Day.
Initially mobilized behind the head of state His Excellency Paul Biya to celebrate with pomp and pageantry patriotism the 50th anniversary of the United Republic this coming 20th of May 2022 in the entire region.
The governor equally handed motorbikes to the SDOs. Disclosed, the head of state has provided the motorbikes to vigilante groups in the region to enable them fight insecurity. Award of medals to 4 persons, 2 Janamari officers and 2 civilians for hard work, amongst was the mayor of Bamela 3 Council.
Cotton was at the spotlight in Yaoundé yesterday in a workshop as the cotton sector, just like every other in the country, is witnessing a crisis. German bodies and Cameroonian task force met to discuss on ways to ameliorate the situation. Colette Loom tells us more.
More than 2 million people in Cameroon depend on cotton for their livelihood, and this sector accounts for 475,000 direct jobs in the country. However, the sector, just like every other sector in Cameroon, is witnessing drawbacks. The cotton sector, whose activities are predominantly carried out in the peri-northern regions of Cameroon, is particularly affected by poverty and insecurity, coupled with the devastating effects of climate change. It is against this backdrop that a task force has been formed with the goal of improving upon its productivity emanating from cotton crisis in the country in a profitable sector.
Producer, don't apply the good practices. All the value chain will fall. That is why stakeholders may be put together so that they can validate the term of reference.
The task force, under the auspices of the Cameroon German Corporation, is supported by the global project Sustainability and Value Added in Agricultural Supply Chains.
Will be the base for development, transformation of cotton for textiles.
This multi-stakeholder partnership was launched in November 2021, and there is therefore hope that it will go a long way to improve on the economy of Cameroon, especially at a moment when Cameroon and the world is facing a lot of economic crises, especially with inflation.
Over 300 patients have been screened of cardiovascular diseases in Boya and Limbe by the medical team of Fondation Cœur et Vie and Prudence Foundation. The screening campaign took place on May 11 during the donations of some medical equipment at the Boya Regional Hospital. Emmanuel Assi.
Helping the population make the most out of life by making their healthcare affordable and accessible while protecting their wealth, growing their assets, and giving them the best ways to save in order to achieve their goals. The Prudence Foundation and the Fondation Cœur et Vie have joined forces together to conduct an awareness campaign and free screening for cardiovascular diseases for patients at risk of COVID-19 in Boya and Limbe. Arriving at both the Boya and Limbe regional hospitals, the population was already present to get themselves consulted and screened for cardiovascular diseases. While taking the height, weight, and blood types of the different patients, each tent was quite busy with nurses attending to the population that was lined up ready to be consulted, tested, and screened. As the medical practitioners chat and laugh, Dr. Mukake Martin, director of the Boyo Regional Hospital, received the medical materials made up of machines, hand wash, sanitizers, and a host of other items with a smile on his face and a word of thanks to the foundations.
So, to know exactly that the hospital has been somehow enriched again with instruments. We have good doctors, wonderful specialists.
He is the head of the marketing and communication department of the Prudence Foundation. He told the press what the foundation is all about.
Prudence Foundation, by the way, is the charitable arm of Prudential, and it's focused on helping the community improve on health and security of every member of the community.
With a target to reach over 3.5 million people from 8 hospitals in 4 regions of Cameroon, these 2 foundations are committed to protect lives from COVID-19.
We have come to the end of today's edition produced by Junior Pelama. Thanks to the technical assistance of Marius Jamel. Faithful viewers, you have details of these stories and many more on our 3:30 p.m. Prime Info with Gladys Monotongina and 6:30 p.m. Prime News with Fon Quinter. Coming up next is The Brief with Lasha Kingsley and Gladys Monotongina. Have a nice time.
Welcome to a new world